Stop undercutting your cards. You're not winning sales. There's a better way to price that sells faster without having to drop your prices. Let me show you how it actually works. Trading cards equal a micro financial market. They have supply, they have demand, they have liquidity, market sentiment. And if these things sound familiar, it's because it's these exact same aspects of stocks, crypto, commodities. If you're buying cards, you're participating in a market. If you're selling cards, you're also participating in a market. And hopefully through this video, I'm able to show you how to shift from emotionally pricing to strategically pricing. And on that journey, there's one number most sellers misunderstand, and that mistake costs them money. That number is market price. And if you misunderstand it, you will constantly price cards wrong. When selling on TCGPlayer, there's really two numbers you need to fully understand. That's market price and lowest listing price. Most sellers focus on the lowest listing price, and this is their mistake. Lowest listing is usually just your cheapest available, and it shows desperation. It's somebody that's chasing that penny or that dollar, or maybe rents due, whatever it is. It's not where you want to focus. Market price, on the other hand, shows where people are actually willing to pay and what the demand of that card is. A good example would be if you had a card that was $20 at market price, but lowest listing was $17. I mean, there could be a multitude of things. You've got new sellers just competing, especially like when secret layers first hit. I mean, everybody panic sells. Or again, just an overall sense of urgency. People are emotionally pricing at this point in time. So with all of this though, remember two things. Your market price equals demand. Your lowest price equals supply. And when talking about lowest price, one of the funniest things that I see all the time, and I've actually been guilty of, is the penny undercut. So somebody lists at $19.99, so you're like, man, I'm gonna list at $19.98 so that I'm the first person people see. But guess what? Then somebody else comes in and they price it $19.97. And then another person comes in and prices against that at $19.96. You're not competing against one seller. You are competing against the entire supply of that card. The result of playing the penny game is that you hurt everyone and you kill your margins. Sometimes the best answer is actually to price higher than the market price. Yes, higher, and I'll explain why here in about 20 seconds. But first, before we get into that, we want to shift our mindset. We want to start thinking like a store owner when it comes to pricing. And there's three strategies that I really focus on when talking about this. Strategy one, strategically price at market. So if the card's at $18, maybe price at $18 or $17.95, close and within range of market price, especially with cards that are staples. This keeps you competitive, but you still get your value. So strategy number two, strategic undercut. This doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, it can be very profitable and a win for both you and the buyer. So let's say that you have a card that at market it's $12, but for some reason the lowest listing's at $16. This means your supply it's dried up. And so that means that at that point I'm going to undercut the lowest listing, but I'm not going to go to market. So I'm probably going to list somewhere in the middle. So 12, 16, I'm going to go like 14.50. And it's going to keep you competitive. It's going to keep your margins padded. Strategy number three, the one we mentioned earlier, pricing above market. When do I do this? When it is a solid staple, or maybe it's a unique version of that staple, or I see that there will be growth in the future. I'm going to price it above market because I don't want to sell myself short and I don't want to lose out on it. Another thing that you want to take into consideration is supply depth. Don't look at just your lowest listing. Look at, okay, I have one card at $10. I have two cards at $10.25. Market price is at $11. and then I have one card at 1075. So if I price mine at 1074, 1076, it means I'm still at the front of the line of available cards to buyers, but I haven't just created an entire price collapse for that card. Another thing to take into consideration is, what are you pricing? Because whether it's staples, bulk, or lands, you're going to have a different pricing mindset for all of those. When it comes to your staples, these are your blue chip cards. That means that you need to price close to market. Don't panic sell. And that's, again, especially with secret layers. I see that all the time. People will get their secret layers in, and then everybody just sells as quickly as they can, and the price just crashes. Great buying opportunity, by the way. When it comes to my bulk, so my bulk rares, my bulk uncommons, my bulk commons, I'm going to list it market, whatever market is, but I'm not going to let it go below a certain threshold. So like rares, I think it's 35 cents. Commons and uncommons, I think it's a quarter. So I just don't go below that on those. But if market's at $1, I'm selling at $1. I'm not really spending a whole lot of time on these bulk cards and pricing. I just kind of let them ride out their cart fillers, really. And then when it comes to lands, it really depends. If it's a staple land or something I know will move or people play a lot of in Commander, I'm going to keep it right near market. I don't need to be competitive because people will always need lands, and it'll always move. If it's a basic land, I'm probably selling it for, a quarter. Again, quarter's kind of where I keep my price range, so I don't end up down the road having just a ton of time losing out on money. And with me saying all that, people are like, man, how do you not just lose a ton of money when you're listing cards at like a quarter and 35 cents and 50 cents? And, you've got your fees on TCGPlayer, you've got your shipping cost. And in all reality, these are cart fillers. So I'm selling somebody a $10 card and they find 4 other cards that are a quarter. I'm just making that $10 order an $11 order. I've just cushioned it a little bit, and I've moved some inventory that then I can flow into something else. But that's really the biggest thing, is you're trying to move your cards as quickly as possible, and you want to have the inventory available that people are looking for. Most people that come to buy cards on TCGPlayer are not just buying one card. They're buying 10 or 20, 50 cards. And you want to have as many of those available that can be as competitive as possible without just destroying your margins. And this leads to one of the most important concepts in card selling. And a lot of new sellers completely misunderstand this. And that's inventory liquidity versus dead capital. Liquidity equals the speed of your cash. Fast sellers equal valuable. Slow sellers equal dead inventory. Dead inventory just sits on your shelf. That's legitimately money just locked up. Okay, so if you're holding out a card for 45 cents or $2 or whatever it may be, that money is literally locked into wherever you're storing that card. So whether that's in a box, on a shelf, whatever, that money is stuck. In terms of cash flow, 35 cents that sells tomorrow is better than $5 that sells in 5 years. The better asset when it comes to selling trading cards is the one that converts to cash. Cash can be reinvested into staples, or when the price crashes because everybody freaks out because a new secret layer just dropped and everybody's selling it. It's a great buying opportunity for you. Dead inventory just locks up that cash. And on the note of panic selling, I really want you to focus on this. So as secret layers come out or reprints come out, watch these cards, set up alerts. There will be panic selling, and it only, maybe it's a day, maybe it's 2 days, but there will be enough new sellers out there that freak out and drop the price that it will be a great buying opportunity for you. I always get asked, how do you find enough cards that are in that $5 to $20 range? And this is it. This is how I keep my inventory stocked, is I literally take a good portion of my cash, and whenever something gets reprinted or a new secret layer gets printed, anything like that, I set up an alert, and as soon as the price drops, I snag it. If you've ever heard the saying, buy the dips, definitely buy the dips. Selling cards successfully isn't about being the cheapest. It's about understanding the supply, the demand, and the buyer psychology overall. The sellers who actually make it on TCGPlayer and the ones that make money aren't chasing the bottom dollar. They're thinking strategically, and they're thinking like investors. So the next time that you list a card, don't ask, what's the cheapest listing? Instead, ask, where should I position myself in the market? Because in trading cards, just like finance, it's usually the calm sellers who win. And if you ever see somebody list a $30 card for $12, don't get mad. Buy it. Every market needs its panic sellers.